wish you a Merry Fishmas. I wish you a Merry Fishmas. I wish you a Merry Fishmas. And a big, big, big pike, also called a lunker. There, you're welcome. I drew a picture of Santa Claus in red right there. Looks exactly like him. And oh, I'm excited. Short day, Christmas holidays, 17-ish days off. Be a teacher. You always get Christmas holidays, Easter holidays, and summer holidays. You always look forward to that for the rest of your life. Such a treat. I am blessed. Okay, let's do some. Oh, let's actually pray. We pray that we have an awesome family time during these holidays. We pray that we hear stories that we haven't heard before and we create memories we'll never forget and just have a household of love, spending lots of time with our family. We also pray that we spend lots of time with friends and lots of laughter, lots of bonding, and just what the holidays should be about. And we also pray for the less fortunate, all the people around the world in war-torn countries, don't have clean drinking water, all the homeless, people in the hospital. We just pray that God can put a smile in their heart and they can turn their fortunes around for sure. And we pray that everyone remembers the reason for the season. Everyone remembers that Jesus' birthday, Jesus is born on Christmas Day, and that is the biggest blessing God could have given us, the biggest present. We thank God for doing so, and many Easters later for Jesus giving up his life so that our friends and us and our family can go to heaven. It is very interconnected, Christmas and Easter. And let's just pray and read the Bible and be happy towards everyone and just follow in Jesus' footsteps. Amen. Okay, let's do some math. Another very special present from God. Not just at Christmas, though, every day. So we're going to punch this in a calculator. We're on the top of page 4, everyone. Top of page 4. And we're going to punch this into our graphing calculator. X subtract 2. So let's go here. It might even be on there. Nope. So X subtract 2. There's your X beside the green button. Subtract 2. And then scroll down and put 3/4 X. So 3/4 X is 3X divided by 4. That's 3/4 X, how you put it in your calculator. Subtract 4. Press graph. And that intersects on the screen. That's good. So now we have to know what to do, and it's a lot of fun. Second, calculate, intersect. Just press 5. And then enter, enter, enter. Now sometimes the screen will interfere with what number it is. You might not be able to tell if that's an 8 or a -8, and you should be able to tell, well, for sure, when you look at the graph. Okay, the graph, the intersection point, it's 8 to the left. That's where these two lines intersect, not +8, which would be 8 to the right. Okay, so -8, -10, right there, underlined in red. And then we want to check our answer. And I think I'm going to use the pen, not mouse. So -8 for X and -10. So does -10 equal -8 subtract 2? Yes, it does. And -8 here is -2, 6. -6 subtract 4 is -10. There we go. So that works perfectly. And you have to know in E, study star E, please, which one is X and which one is Y. And your A's and B's are X's and Y's. Okay, muchacho nacho, MN. Nacho cheese is the Y. PQ, the second letter alphabetically is the y. So AB, B is y. You're solving for B here. And you can tell, well, for this one, I actually subtracted 4a and divided by -1. I haven't done that for a while. Usually I would bring the negative b over to the other side and make it positive. But you get the same answer either way. And then this one, just subtract 3a. So let's put these into our calculator. 4a subtract 6 means 4x subtract 6. So 4x subtract 6. Let's clear these guys out. Bye-bye. 4x subtract 6. And the second one is negative 3x plus 1. Negative, don't forget to put negative, not subtraction sign. Okay? And then you press graph. Beauty. X marks the spot. Second, calculate. Intersect. You can also go down here. It just takes more time. Enter. And then enter, enter, enter. Bop, bop, boo. 1, -2 is the answer. Does it check out? If we put 1 and -2 in for x and y, or a and b, what do you get? You get 4 subtract -2, which is 6, 4 plus 2, and you get 3 subtract 2 is 1. Awesome. So write down check. It's just good if you if you have a sign mistake, your answer will not be right and will not be left-hand side, right-hand side for each equation. So probably the first one, or whatever one of these is a negative sign away. So you'd have to figure it out and see where you made a mistake. Okay. Super. All right, let's do 4a. Exact values is important. I haven't told you anything about exact values, so let's do that now. Write this wherever you have room. Exact values means no decimals. And you didn't have to do this because I didn't even tell you about it, but let's do it now. No decimals. Okay, only fractions and numbers. Now let's add y to this side and put these two on our calculator. 4x plus 6 equals y. There's y1 and this is y2. So 4x plus 6, 4x plus 6, and the other one is x plus 2. Y equals x plus 2. And press graph. You have to solve for y. That's the only way you can do this on a calculator is get y by itself. Solve for y. Graph it. Sweet. Second, calculate. Intersect. Pop, pop, boo. You get -1.33 and .66 repeating. Let me go purple it up. So -1.33 repeating and 0.66 repeating. So that is -4/3 and 2/3. Now if you don't know how to do that, and in some you certainly won't, like the next one, you can do this on your calculator for exact values. And I guess I'll stick with black. The calculator key for exact values for x is the first thing you have to do is get out of the graph screen. So you have to press second quit. Otherwise you won't be able to do this. So second quit, and I'll give you a blank, and I'll show this to you in a second. Then you press x equals, and it will give you the x coordinate of the graph, that system of equations that you just solved. After you do that, well, we've done this already, you press math fraction. Okay, that's for the x. Let's do that, and then we'll come back to the y. So we had this. So I'm going to go second quit, which is the mode button. Then I press x equals, and it gives us the x coordinate. And now you press math, fraction, enter. There's your -4/3. Now try to find your y button on your calculator. Go ahead, find your y button, not your y equals button, your y button. And tell me what color it is. Good job. It is green, so we press the green button, alpha, and then 1. Alpha 1 equals. And then you press math fraction. And you get 2/3. So cool. Okay, so for your y part, this is your y, for y. You go second, oh no, you've quitted already. You go alpha 1. Alpha 1 sounds like a cool code name. And then math fraction. Alpha 1, alpha 1. Mayday, mayday. We have a sour cream shortage. We got too many pierogies. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Pierogies. Oh, pierogies, oh, pierogies. How I love you. You are a dream with sour cream. Oh, I didn't tell you about the Christmas song, my Christmas CD. That's out in January. The Greening Christmas. I am rambling. Let's go to this one, because you guys didn't know about exact values. So now I want you to do this black second quit x equals math fraction and alpha 1 math fraction to this question. And don't be scared and run away if you get a crazy fraction, because you will. Okay, so pause that until you get those in your calculator and you follow along with exact values. Pause, 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 pause. Okay, so for B, we put this in our calculator. Press graph. Nice. Second, calculate intersect. Pop, pop, boo. And I'm a little suspicious because when I press second quit, I have to get out of the screen first and press X. Doesn't look like this decimal is going to convert to a fraction, but then I notice 095238 is 095, so it does repeat with the 095, so that's why it repeats. Press math fraction, and if you got this, high five yourself right now. That is amazing. Look at that. You can't guess that one right. There's no chance. So that's how you do that one. The y is alpha 1. So green 1. Alpha 1, alpha 1, enter. Then math fraction again. And that is even crazier. But it's right. In fact, I'm going to go to the answer key right now and show you that's right. There it is. Right there. So if I got an answer like this, I might just check to see if I didn't. Well, you can't do anything wrong here in this. You check your y1, y2, and you missed a sign or a decimal. But if I got an answer like this, I would check to see if I made a sign mistake. But hey, if I can't find a mistake, then leave it. I've seen students erase the right answer and then not put anything. Makes no sense. So stick to your guns. If that's what it is, that's what it is. And you should be proud of yourself if you got that. Please write it as an ordered parallel, not like they do. Okay, it's a point. Gotta write it as a point, and then if you can take a peek, we see this is the one we just did. Okay, let's do 5, 6, and 7, which is still on page 4, the rest of page 4. Okay, and I'm not going to base solve for y, you've done enough of that, so here they just added to y and subtracted 6 and then divided by 2. And here they subtracted x and then divided by 6. So that's what they punched into their y. 1, y2. And then, again, please don't write it like that. Put 10, 2 as an ordered pair. And once you get it, just check it. So this is 10, subtract 2 times 2, so 10 subtract 4 is 6. 10 plus 12 does equal 22. Study star 6, please. 6, most of the time, we're going to get D, an ordered pair for answer. 6 says what's the value of x. So this would not, 10, 2 would not be the answer if it said what's the value of x. The value of x for this question 5 would be 10. But it's tricky because one of the answers, multiple choice, would be 10, 2. It's really hard not to choose it. So if this said what's the value of x, it would not be 10, 2. That's the ordered pair. That's the intersection point. The value of x would be, oops, pardon me, would be 10. Not this part. It would be B. So, again, I'm not going to solve for y here for you. Add 5y and then subtract 19, divide by 5, you get this. And this one, subtract 2x, and then divide by 3, and you get this. Punch these in your calculator, and you get 4.58 and something. And please don't do that and then not round properly to the nearest 10. You can't put 4.58. You'll get 0 marks. It makes no sense, but if it says nearest 10th, it has to be to the nearest 10th. And numerical response is either right or wrong. You did 99% of it right. Please read. In fact, it's worth a note and a study star. Read. This one would be not devastating, but it would be sad if you got 4.58 and didn't get any marks. Number 7 gives you the 2 equations. So this one you have to divide by 3 to get y by itself. Otherwise, this one is by itself. And these are the 2 equations you punch in your calculator. You just have to know which one is which. It says, what's the cost of a pair? Is it 36 or 48? So you have to kind of go to the sentences where they created the equation. A pear costs 24 cents less than 2 apples. So which one's the pear? Pear costs 24 cents less than 2 apples. So these are the apples, the pear is the y. There we go. So just be careful you don't mix that up. Again, if you put 36 in its numerical response, there'd be no luck in it for you. Okay, I have one Christmas story, and I'll try to speed it up a little bit. And this was when I was in New Jersey. I was a Canadian exchange student, and I went to Trenton State College. And I was going to go to South Carolina for Christmas. And then I found out we have like 5 weeks off for Christmas. I couldn't believe it. So I was like, well, I have to go home, but I don't have to tell people I'm going home. So I called my best friend Miles, and him and his dad, and Miles and I spent tons of time together playing golf and tennis, and he was a hockey player, and just we were both jocks, and so he and his dad drove down, picked me up at the Minneapolis airport, and I was surprising my family. And this is how I got them all together. I said I can only have one phone call. It's so expensive, and I can only call at this time. I need everyone to be in the exact same place. So my mom and dad came over to mom's, and my sisters were there. And then it actually looked fine because Miles was coming over too. I told him Miles was coming over when he dropped me off there physically, and they were waiting for a phone call. So they're all downstairs, and we have a creaky floor. I got into the front door, and then I think Miles opened it for me. And I was trying to sneak downstairs, but our porch is just squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. So I came down 3 steps, and then all of a sudden, I see my mom at the bottom of the stairs, and she screams. And what does she do? She runs away from me. I haven't seen her for months, and first time I've been away from home. And I thought that was an odd reaction. My cat's reaction was he stuck his cat nose up in the air and didn't even want to talk to me because he had seen me for so long. He just wouldn't even, just left Mitz, our fat tabby. And then my mom is giving my dad a lot of heck for not telling her that I'm here. And he has no idea. He hasn't even seen me yet. He's like, what are you talking about? And yeah, and then I came up and said, hey, surprise, I'm here for Christmas. And that was a fun night to remember. Lots of good times. Okay, so that was the Christmas story. Now what's the story? The story is go to the top of page 5 and write this down, please. We are finding the number of solutions and what type of lines they are. This should make sense to you. Don't just write it down and not make sense of it. Okay, there's 3 types of lines. And I wish I would have asked you that before I put it up. Oh well. There's intersecting, ones that cross each other. There's parallel, that never meet. And then the same line, one line on top of each other. Okay, intersecting lines. You know what the solution is. It means where does the line intersect. So how many points do 2 intersecting lines intersect at? It's just 1. Okay, so there's 1 solution. Parallel lines never intersect, so there's 0 solutions. I don't know why I'm using my hands because you can't see them. And then you have a new one, same line, where you have the exact same line. Let's say you have y equals x plus 5, and then you have 2y equals 2x plus 10. If you solve for y, you'll get the exact same line. And if you'll notice that we write the same line, we just make a thicker arrow. That's how we know there's 2 lines at once. Okay, and then so we're going to solve for y. I want to ask you how many solutions or what type of lines. Solve for y. Then you're going to compare the slopes. So we know that y equals mx plus b. So we're going to have something like y equals 2x subtract 4 and y equals 2x plus 2. That's not a 2. And we're going to compare the slopes. Okay, S is the same slope, different y-intercept. Okay, except for I'm not sure there's a mistake on here. So can you please listen carefully? This is not different. What does B stand for, by the way? So M stands for slope. What does B stand for? The y-intercept. Jeez, why did I just did the same thing? Old guys don't rule. I know what my brain was saying. It just wasn't writing it. Same slope, same y-intercept. Okay, it's pretty easy for the same lines. Okay, every single point is an intersection point because they're right on top of each other. So there's infinite amount of solutions, and you can tell these have the same slope. You can tell the parallel lines, look at them, they have the same slope. There it is, slopes are equal. Intercepts are different though. Okay, so different B. And intersecting points, 99.9% of the time has a different slope and a different y-intercept. Unless it intersects at the y-intercept. But that's good enough for what we're doing. So we're going to compare. Is these slopes different? Or are they the same? Are these y-intercepts different? Or are they the same? But you can't do any comparing unless you solve for y. Okay, so I'll let you write down all of that. Pause, pause, pause. You don't need to write this mumble jumble. Just saying. I'm just saying. Pause, pause. Okay, I'm also going to give you some math terminology. You don't need to know this for this year, but you might need it next year. The fancy name for a parallel line is called inconsistent. The fancy name for intersecting lines is independent consistent. I remember by the two I's, but also for the number solution 1. If you're independent, that means you're good by yourself with one person. And then dependent consistent is the other one. So same line is dependent consistent. You don't need to know the purple. I just wanted to put that out there. If you put intersecting line, parallel line, or the same line, that's good enough for me. Okay, and again, if these should make sense to you. This should make sense that this has the same slope, these two lines have the same slope, and these two lines have the same slope. If they're parallel and the same line. So, first step is to solve for y, and then we're going to compare the slopes and the y-intercepts, okay? So here, to solve for y, let's subtract 3x. We are on page 5, middle page 5. You get 5y equals negative 3x plus 15. Divide by 5. This is awesome. So much fun. And you get negative 3/5 x plus 3. Now this is our other line, and it's already solved for. If you want to put a plus 0, you can. You don't have to. But you can see that these have the same slope. Negative 3x and negative 3/5x. Sorry, negative 3/5 x, negative 3/5 x. Same slope. But they have different y-intercepts. Now, I'm not going to give you the chart. You have to visualize two lines with the same slope. It's either parallel or same line. They have different y-intercepts. They're not the same line, because the same line has the same y-intercepts. So now you have to answer the question, and it says determine how many solutions. Now I'm going to add this question and type of line, because I could ask you either or both. So let's do both. So write that in there. So we just said those are parallel lines. That means therefore. And how many solutions do parallel lines have? How many times do they intersect? 0 solutions. All right. You go ahead and do B. And pause when you're, or unpause. Pause now, and then unpause when you're ready to roll, and you have an answer for me. What type of lines and how many solutions? Okay, solve for y. One's already done. Alright, let's use Christmas red. We're going to add 4y to both sides. Add 4y, and then divide by 4. So x plus 8 equals 4y. Divide by 4, and please don't forget there's a 1 here. Because if you don't forget there's a 1 there, then you're not going to put 4x, you're going to put 1/4 x. That's where the 1 comes from. Plus 2 equals y. Now what I like to do is I like to put the lines. Okay, so let's put the red one in the y equals form. So the red one is y equals 1/4 x plus 2. And you can see it's exactly the same. But don't forget to answer the question. So you same line, and then it also asks for the number of solutions. So how many number of solutions, how many times does they intersect with each other if it's the same line? So I write down infinite. I think this is infinitely fun. I'm so excited. Okay, I want you to do homework. And good job. I already did homework number 1 for you. Write down C chart. And then I want you to do number 2 for homework. So you solve for y, and let me add and type of line, okay? And type of line. So that's easier to visualize. Let's do this, and let's end here. Okay, so you need to do this for homework. Not homework, classwork right now. Do two ABC, and we'll correct it in January. Ha ha ha. Yes. There'll be many a pierogi in my belly. Okay, well, I'm going to wish you Merry Christmas about a million times. It's probably today, but this is the end of the podcast, so may God bless you with just a super duper, man, I'm poetic, aren't I? Super duper awesome Christmas vacation. And thanks for your hard work. Take a break from math. There's no math homework at all over the holidays. The homework is to relax, be peaceful, hug your family, not your friends, but be happy with everyone. All right, God bless everyone. God bless. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.